This way of thinking was really cemented into my head when I met real high rollers, millionaires that were not short financially whatsoever. The vast majority of them kept repeating the importance of staying down and investing your money until you finally come up in the game and your assets in turn pay all of your liabilities. Yo, what's good, young investors, and welcome back to another video. At the very beginning of the year, my stock portfolio was sitting at around $4,000. Fast forward a few months and we're sitting at roughly $15,000. I guess it's pretty safe to say that we've come a long way this year, but believe me when I say this, you guys, there's been a method to the madness. There's several reasons as to why the portfolio is where it's at now. And of course, I'm gonna share those reasons for you guys in today's video. This is how to grow your portfolio while you're young. Let's do it. So the very first thing that I did to get my portfolio to where it's at now is I started to get used to delayed gratification. This essentially means resisting short-term pleasures so that you can in turn get long-term gains. Trust me, you guys are gonna get tempted at some point to buy something like a new car, maybe some expensive clothes or whatever when you start getting a bit of money coming in. These are the exact short-term pleasures that I'm talking about. But trust me, you guys, wait it out now and in turn use that money to purchase things that are more productive. Get the money to work for you. Think about it this way, you guys. Every dollar that we invest is money that we don't have to work for in the future. I mean, as a matter of fact, that dollar now works for you. Believe me when I say this, you guys. Learn to stack your money right now. Get ahead of your life before it even starts. It's gonna pay off tenfold down the line. This is something I found to be a key most millionaires shared in common when I read the book, The Millionaire Next Door. One that I highly recommend for you guys and will have linked in the description below. This way of thinking was really cemented into my head when I met real high rollers. Millionaires that were not short financially whatsoever. The vast majority of them kept repeating the importance of staying down and investing your money until you finally come up in the game and your assets in turn pay all of your liabilities. They worked, saved the money that they were making instead of spending it, and in turn invested it into more productive assets that would make them even more money long term. Assets like stocks, for example. As for me personally, just about every single dollar that I make is saved to in turn invest. I don't have no expensive jewelry or any expensive cars just yet. As of right now, I'm building my foundations. All of that will come. So that's number one. I got used to delayed gratification. Basically saying no to things that take money out of my pockets, like cars and depreciating liabilities, and saying yes to things that put money in my pockets, like stocks, for example. Hence the saying, assets over liabilities. So the second thing that I did to grow my portfolio fairly quick is I got my money up. There's no way around this one. You can't have delayed gratification or great money management skills if you got no money coming in the first place. This one is pretty straightforward. Get a part-time job or a full-time job. Start getting some income coming in. Forget what you guys have heard from these gurus saying that you can make tons of money with no money. You're getting sold a dream, flat out. That's not how it really works. You need money to make money. That's the bottom line. And I even did you guys a solid and made a quick list of things you can do to get your money up. Number one, of course, get a job. Retail and fast food are always hiring. And before I get the excuses coming, we gotta do what we gotta do, especially while we're young. Number two, get some sort of side hustle going. I personally mowed lawns and collected and recycled cans and bottles. And finally, number three, one that's kind of unheard of, go to school. I know this might sound weird, but seriously, going to school pays. And I'm not talking about no degree or nothing like that. Check this out, you guys. Junior college is one of the most underused, undervalued, under-talked about assets right now while we're young. You don't have to get into debt because they're way cheaper than universities. And a lot of the topics that they educate you on are similar, if not downright the same that they teach you in major universities. But the best part is the grants that you get available to you when you become a student. And for those of you that don't know, this is basically gifted money that you don't have to pay back. I'm talking about thousands of dollars that you can potentially get access to. And the craziest thing is, tons of these grants go unnoticed. Since number one, students just don't think they'll get accepted for the grant. And number two, they just can't even be bothered to apply. I'm telling you guys, school is really still worth it if you play your cards right. Forget what these gurus have you think. If you guys are in high school or a junior college student, have a talk with your counselor and see if they can hook you up with scholarships and grants in your area. They usually have the answers to those questions. I'll also have a site or two linked down below for you guys to look into. And so, once I started to get my money up and I started to get used to delayed gratification, I started to get my money management skills up. Believe me when I tell you guys this, the vast majority of people in the real world don't really learn to manage their money properly until way down the line. I used to think that all the adults had the answers when I was younger, until I realized that a lot of the people that we're surrounded by are severely underinformed when it comes to money management. And the craziest part is, a lot of them are in charge of educating us. You guys are also going to notice that the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle is a very real thing that tons of people tend to suffer from. I really started to learn to put my money aside for emergencies and investing, and started to live a lifestyle where I had more money coming in than going out. In other words, I was, and still am, living below my means. I was also learning to track expenses and things like that. And I really don't want to get too deep into this one since I've already made a video where I focus on managing our money while we're young. It's a game changer that I highly recommend you guys check out after today's video. But to give you guys a bit of information on this one, I put aside at least 10% of whatever I make. This is money that can then be used for things that I consider to be emergencies, like a crazy car expense and things like that. The money that is then left after that is once again put aside for my living expenses, when I purchase groceries and things like that. And finally, investing. It's really that simple. So number one, save money for emergencies. This at least being 10% every single time. Number two, I then put money aside for investing. This is where the bulk of it goes. And finally, number three, I use what's left to pay for my living expenses. Since I really don't spend much right now, this tends to be small for me. So those are three quick things that I personally do to grow my stock portfolio at the age of 18. I'd say that all three of these can easily be implemented into our daily lives. And with that being said, a major thank you to all of you guys that have made it this far into the video. Don't forget to leave a quick like if you haven't already. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. We're leveling up for all the rest of 2020 and the rest of 2021 on this side. Of course, beat the odds and do the numbers. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.